I've raised a lot of money for the next race that I assume I can't use for myself, but I'm not 100% sure because I don't know. I think I'm not allowed to run again. I'm not sure. Am I allowed to run again, Mike? I better not get you involved in that argument.
All right, to all of the Trump supporters who claim that he's just joking when he talks about running for a third term, can you explain to me why a MAGA representative recently introduced a bill to rewrite the Constitution, giving Donald Trump a third term? On top of that, you know what the better article is? Donald Trump's third term proposal by the same representative has a clause to stop Barack Obama from running. It's not a joke. They've thought this all the way through. And every time they claim that Trump is joking about something, whether it's Greenland and Denmark or the Panama Canal, he ends up doubling down and showing us that he's not joking. Remember, he had a fiery phone call with the PM of Denmark the other day because he said, I actually want Greenland. I'm not joking. You better give it to me. He's tariffed other countries. He is not joking when he says this. And let's really quickly read this article, then break down a few more clips of Donald Trump talking about J6, Donald Trump talking about prices. We have a lot to break down. Make sure you drop a like. Double check to make sure you're subscribed to the Mockler channel. We want to get to 1 million subscribers. This reads, a House Republican has introduced a joint resolution in Congress designed to allow President Trump to, quote, serve a third term, while including a caveat that would prevent Barack Obama from running again for the White House. The proposal was introduced on Thursday by Representative Andy Ogles, and why it matters is because Trump has joked about running for a third term repeatedly, but mainly during an address to White House Republicans shortly after his November election win. He's not joking. He went to D.C. and he spoke to White House Republicans and said, quote, I suspect I won't be running again unless you do something. And then, in that clip I just played, he tries to pull Speaker of the House Mike Johnson into the debate. What to know? Ogle's resolution would alter the Constitution's 22nd Amendment to say, no person shall be elected to the office of the president more than 3 times, nor be elected to any additional term after being elected to 2 consecutive terms. So right there you can see the slippery wording that would say because Obama has been elected to 2 consecutive terms, he can't run again, even though the Constitution is very clear that in total you can't have more than 2 terms. All right, let's jump on to this next clip where Donald Trump talks about emptying prisons out into our country. You guys see where I'm going with this, right?
I think, frankly, half of them are totally crazy, but they do stick together. They stick together on stuff that nobody can. I mean, how can you want prisons emptied out into our country? They stick together.
Nobody wants that except for you, man. Brian Tyler Cohen even quote tweeted this and said, Trump pardons roughly 1,500 defendants charged in the January 6th criminal attack, literally emptying out the prisons. And if you saw my video from earlier today, one of these January 6th criminals got shot and killed in my home state of Indiana. Go check out my last video if you don't believe me. This guy got into a fight with a police officer. Exactly what he did on January 6th. It is beyond parody. And what Trump is doing here, I think that projection and deflection, that honestly, those are too nice of terms. What he's doing is he's flooding the zone with bullshit and trying to confuse and overwhelm the public at large and mainly his enemies. So he's claiming here the Democrats stick together too much. We're almost like a cult because we want to empty the criminals into the streets, or empty the prisons into the streets, when they are the ones that stick together, stick behind each other no matter what. I mean, this dude tried to coup the Capitol after losing, and they thought, hey, let's run the same guy again after his historic loss, 7 million votes. So they stick together. Honestly, if anything, I wish the Democrats would stick together a little bit more. Before I play this next clip of Trump, watch this clip of Caitlin Collins grilling J.D. Vance that's just going viral. It's from a few months back.
But you can't police people for being anti-Israel or pro-Israel. You can police people for violating the law. And we have seen some of that with some of these protests.
Okay, so you agree that people who break in and vandalize a building should be prosecuted?
Exactly.
Okay, I'm just checking because you did help raise money for people who did so on January 6th, which was, impeding an official proceeding, breaking into a building that they weren't allowed to be in.
I'll finish the clip, but number one, got him. Number two, these people are never held accountable. People like J.D. Vance and Donald Trump, so we need to make sure we're holding them accountable over the next 4 years using the platforms we have at our disposal.
And vandalizing the Capitol.
Well, Caitlin, I know that this is the obsession of the national media to talk about what happened 2 years ago, 3 years ago on January the 6th,
It's not an obsession. I'm just seeing if it's a double standard.
No, let me answer the question, Caitlin. I mean, look, here's been my basic argument about January the 6th. If you beat up a cop, of course you deserve to go to prison. If you violated the law, you should suffer the consequences. But there are people who protested on January the 6th who have had the complete...
All right. I'm going to shut it down right there because he's already just beginning to veer into lies that people who stormed the Capitol have been treated unfairly. They haven't. But also, this dude just said if you beat up a police officer, you should remain in jail. Well, look what he's supporting now. He's supporting Donald Trump as they literally empty the prisons out into our streets. This is a really important clip because this really shows Trump's mindset. So today, if you haven't heard, the stock market has been down pretty badly, mainly because of the tech sector. The tech sector is being killed. Mainly NVIDIA is being killed in the stock market, down 17% the last time I checked, which is dragging the rest of the indices down with it. But the reason it's down is because of a new Chinese tech project named DeepSeek. DeepSeek is supposed to be so incredibly transformative that it's killing the US stock market 1 week into Trump's second term, which now we can say the line, my 401k is down, egg prices are up, everything is going poorly under Trump's second term, and you wouldn't be wrong. But when Trump was asked about this, or when he starts to talk about this at a conference, he tries to spin it into a positive. All this dude knows how to do is spin, 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 and try to act like he's winning when he's losing. So just think about this. Zoom out. A foreign adversary is now winning in AI. A foreign adversary who wants to see nothing more than destruction of the United States is pulling ahead in AI. And Trump begins to praise them and essentially say, oh, that's good for them. I'm happy to see this happening. Now we don't have to invest money, even though a few days back, him and Sam Altman announced a $500 billion AI investment, very likely because they knew what was coming. They knew this was coming with China. Let me just play this clip and just notice that Trump is spinning something terrible into a positive.
Today and over the last couple of days, I've been reading about China and some of the companies in China, one in particular, coming up with a faster method of AI and much less expensive method. And that's good because you don't have to spend as much money. I view that as a positive, as an asset. So
this is like saying, sorry to pause it. This is like saying, I just saw that Russia came up with a great new military tank. This military tank is nothing like anybody's ever seen, and that's fine, because now we don't have to invent it. No, you're missing the point, brother. You're missing the point, Trump. The reason why it's so bad is because our enemy just got a new weapon. AI can be used as a weapon in their hands, and you're saying it's a good thing?
I really think if it's fact and if it's true, and nobody really knows if it is, but I view that as a positive because you'll be doing that too, so you won't be spending as much and you'll get the same result, hopefully. The release of DeepSeek AI from a Chinese company should be a wake-up call for our industries that we need to be laser-focused on competing to win because we have the greatest scientists in the world.
Yeah, and having the greatest scientists in the world is reliant on the Department of Education being funded, not absolutely eliminated. Even Ben Meiselas on Twitter just posted, like a miracle, it's all going away because Trump said, I view that as a positive. If it is true, I view that as a positive. When talking about DeepSeek, again, this guy is trying to turn an absolute negative into a positive. Jessica Tarlov went on Fox News and talked about this after and was saying essentially, we are pushing other countries, our allies, into the arms of our enemy when we threaten them repeatedly, when we place tariffs on them. And this actually fits right into that. We are allowing China to take the lead because Trump is too lazy and complacent and honestly dumb to realize what's happening.
Also concerned about the signal that this sends to the world vis-a-vis our allies. So no one would dispute that Colombia has been a great ally to America. And when South American countries look around, and we should keep in mind, of course, that China is their #2 biggest trading partner. So are we pushing these countries into the arms of our enemies? If they look at how we're treating Panama, Colombia, Mexico, are they going to turn around and say, hey, I'd like to be aligned with you? I see Jesse and Janine are writing. They obviously have something to say.
I would like to write, but I'm holding my, I am not picking up my pen.
No.
I'm drawing.
All right, Jessica Tarlov obviously fighting an uphill battle, but doing amazing on Fox News. I'll leave it at that. Make sure you drop a like, subscribe. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.